The past couple of years, Greg and I have talked about the opportunity for me to come and guest direct at some point. And finally, in my schedule, it worked out. So this has been in talks for probably the last 2 to 3 years, and finally we found a time period and an opportunity that it all clicked together.
So we have about 9 pages left. We'll go through. We'll go through it. Then we'll go back. We'll run it, and then we're going to go back and run all of Act 2.
I went down to University of Wisconsin-Madison, so I've been there for the past 7 years in various different roles, from operations director of the Wisconsin Film Festival to production manager overseeing all events for the student unions on the campus there, and then most recently back with the UW Arts Institute in a different role, a more management, project management role with them. So still my hands in the arts and also freelance acting and directing and adjudicating state, regional, and national festivals. So.
What does that mean, slamming the door? And then they're drunk and all of a sudden, bang! Somebody's lying dead in the gutter. Okay, no one's blaming them for it. That's how they are, by nature, you know what I mean? Violent! Human life don't mean as much to them as it does to us.
Okay, good. I just want to back it up to the top of this again. Good. No, that was good. Sean, for this go around, and we'll keep going. When we start at the top, can you find a place to get up in there? I want to get you up at some point, wherever it feels comfortable, wherever you feel. I just want you to play for right now. The other thing that I would like you to try with 10 for me, if you'd humor me, is instead of anger, if you can play that these are just natural facts. They're just this way. They drink a lot. They're crazy people. I mean, these are facts. So, not necessarily that you're angry about it, because otherwise you play anger all the way through. You can be angry about maybe the vote initially, but then you're talking facts like Juror 8 is talking facts, but you're talking facts about people and their rude fact. But you're just like, wow, don't you guys know these people are like that?
I've directed in a thrust before. I've directed in a round before. But in this structure, certain pieces lend themselves to being in the round. Certain pieces lend themselves to being in a certain type of structure. This show is always difficult to stage, even if it's a proscenium stage, because again, it's a flat angle. You have one viewpoint, so how do you make it interesting when it's a group of guys sitting at a table? However, if you put it in the round, again, you have various challenges there, and this is essentially like that with the alleyway. So it's a piece that's always been a challenge to make sure that the audience is following the story, and we're having them look at the key moments and the key pieces and making sure that those key pieces are visible from all audience members.
I guess the quickest way is a show of hands. Anybody object? All those voting guilty, raise your hands.
Sorry guys,
You gotta listen. Who's listening? All those voting not guilty, raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What? All those voting guilty? 9 to 3.
What's interesting is I've always wanted to direct this piece. I've always been intrigued by the piece because it's one of those pieces that are timeless, right? Jury duty is always going to exist, or at least in our time will exist. And it's a relationship piece, which we have talked about a lot. It's that ultimate relationship piece where we have a duty, or the jury has this duty to decide what is going to happen to a sole individual. And it's, for those who have never experienced jury duty, may not understand it, and there's always this stigma of, oh, I don't want to be called for jury duty. Now, why is that? Is it because people don't want to have to make the hard decision or be put in that spot? Or is it because of the time? And you kind of see all those through this play. You have those individuals that it's either tough or they don't have the time or don't want to be there. But in this particular piece, and the time and what it deals with isn't too far what we're seeing in today's world with some of the issues that are going on. This, and for its time in New York, was a huge, I mean, there's race issues, there's class issues, there's every sort of cultural issue you could imagine is brought forth in this piece. So it's kind of a microcosm of our society even today.